Well, welcome into Bon Appetit. A couple of weeks back, we did a wonderful egg rock soup. But you know, when you go to a restaurant, one of the big things that people really enjoy sometimes is a great French onion soup. And it's great, especially when it's very, very cold outside. And this is a soup that's very simple to make. In fact, that's all it's going to take is 4 ingredients, but there's just a couple of different things you do to make sure that it's going to be just the way you want it. So, you're going to start off with a saucepan, medium-sized saucepan. You take a half a stick of butter, put the half a stick of butter in there, and 2 tablespoons of a nice olive oil. I use an olive oil. You can use any kind of oil you choose. Now what you're going to do is you're going to cook these to the point where they become very thin and they become translucent, so that and these are thin onions, and you're going to put them in the pot. Then the next thing you're going to do when you get to that point is you're going to be ready to pour in a beef stock, because that's what's going to make the soup portion of this thing, is the beef stock. So I'm going to go ahead and pour, and you may start to see a little bit of sizzle here. As we pour now this is 32 ounces of beef stock. When we're done doing this, we're going to have servings for about 3 people, and you can use, obviously, you can use it, and it comes in these nice containers. It's 32 ounces, so it's ready to go. Now you're going to put it in here, and you're going to make sure that it comes to a nice simmer. It's going to simmer, not totally boil real big, but it's going to simmer for a while. And then when it's in this process, then we're going to go ahead and add in some Worcestershire sauce. So we're going to put in the Worcestershire sauce, and it's about 2.5 tablespoons of the sauce. And that's going to just add a really nice flavor. And that's an ingredient that a lot of times people don't think about when they're going to make an onion soup. But it's going to be a great way to do it. So we're going to just kind of drizzle that in there, move that over to the side, and we're going to let this cook. Again, it has to come to a nice, I don't want to call it a boil, but a nice simmer. So it's simmering real well. And then when it comes to that simmer, we're going to go ahead and get it into a bowl, and then we're going to put a nice piece of toast. And it's going to be, it can just about be any kind of a toast, but normally you get a good hard bread. Don't get a soft bread. Get a bread that's a nice soft bread. Today we're going to use the Chobani bread, which is something that people really kind of like. And then we're going to sprinkle the cheese on the top. Then we put it in the broiler for a few minutes. And that's what brings all of it together. And a lot of times when you're in that restaurant, when you take that first bite, just about all the cheese comes up with you. So we're going to be doing it with some shredded cheese today, which might make it a little bit easier to get some bites that you need. So let's get our bowl over here, and we'll go ahead and plate it out. And then we can go ahead and get it ready to put into the oven. So we got a nice sized bowl here. And this is a bowl that we have that has a handle on it. A lot of times these are good because a lot of times these things are going to get hot. So the onions look very well there. It's in a nice bowl of soup. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to take our piece of toast, a beautiful looking piece of toast, and we're going to let it float on top of the soup. And of course you might say, well, is it going to get real soft? Yes, it will. But what will happen is you want it to be soft. And then we're taking this cheese. And this is a Gruyere cheese. It's called Gruyere. And this is a combination of Gruyere, a little bit of Swiss. And Gruyere is mostly a French cheese, so we're going to take that and we're going to be putting that on here. And I'm going to move this around a little bit so we're in the focus of this camera over here. And we make sure that we got it nice and laced with cheese. Again, you can do cheese to taste. Now, again, from a salt and pepper perspective, what I would definitely say is wait until you take a taste. You can always add salt and pepper, but it's hard to take it a little bit away. So let's go ahead and put it in the oven, and we'll see the masterpiece that comes out. Well, we've just taken it out of the oven. The cheese is melted perfectly. It adheres to the toast, but more importantly, the toast becomes soft, so you can take your spoon, get a nice taste of the onion soup along with onion and a little bit of bread and some of the cheese. If you want this recipe, give me a call, 334-277-5000. Obviously, it's the French onion soup recipe, and I can send it to you online, or we'll be happy to mail it to you. So, from the Bon Appetit, let's have a nice taste of French onion soup. Tastes great. We'll be right back right after this.